I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material. So I'm certainly well aware of the classification requirements and did not send classified material.
And welcome back to the Daily Wrap. As we reported last night, both the FBI and the Clinton campaign are insisting that the FBI investigation into Hillary Clinton's private emails is not of a criminal nature. But today we learned that this might not be the case. The New York Post is reporting, based on an unnamed federal source, that the investigation is very much geared towards discovering if Mrs. Clinton engaged in some criminal activity. According to that unnamed source, the Post reports it's definitely a criminal probe. I'm not sure why they're not calling it a criminal probe. The DOJ and FBI can conduct civil investigations in very limited circumstances, but that's not what this is. In this case, a security violation would lead to criminal charges. Maybe DOJ is trying to protect her campaign. Joe, it's an unnamed source, but it's got to be enough to have the Clinton administration more than a little concerned, wouldn't you think?
Another day.
Did I say the administration? I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yes.
The Clinton campaign a little concerned.
Freud says there's no accidents.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Interesting. It's just another day in the Cal Ripken streak of Hillary Clinton having to answer questions about that instead of maybe Jeb Bush saying that we're not giving women's health enough money or going on the offensive when it comes to XYZ. And that's the problem. Every day she's on the defense. Every day we're talking about this. Every day her trust crumbles a little bit more, at least trust in her from the American people, Rick.
So, Nomi, I mean, I know that you wouldn't mind such a problem because you're a Joe Biden fan. But there's two questions that go with this. The first is the mere discussion of the potential of criminal violations just deadly to the campaign? And two, what if the DOJ actually filed those charges?
I think the discussion, I don't even know if this is true, to be honest. Like, I think that the New York Post has a reputation for finding sources in convenient places. So, I'm not a Hillary fan, but I'm curious to see who these sources are. There's like lots of unnamed sources right now.
It's hard to get too shook up when it's an unnamed federal source. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that happening. But every time there's a story published, whether it's in the New York Times or the New York Post or some blog, it's the conversation is shifted and she's back on the defense. And I don't think that her campaign is doing a great job of defending. They're attacking the media, and that doesn't necessarily help.
That actually leads into my next question for Casey. Casey, let's just project ahead. And we learn in 30, 60 days' time that there is no criminal probe. There never was a criminal probe. This is just not in the cards. Does this create a scenario where Hillary Clinton can stand up, effectively play the victim, and actually come out ahead?
No, I don't think so, because people already hate Hillary. Nobody likes Hillary.
Well, not everybody, obviously. She still leads in every single poll.
She leads in every poll because look who she's running against. If Joe Biden enters the race, she's got a real problem on her hands. And that's why it would become damaging to the campaign, because it creates that opening for somebody like Biden to come in. But as it stands right now, she doesn't need to play the victim, so she's not going to play them. She might play it because that's the only
Although it's worked
she
out
has.
well for her. We can all think back to New Hampshire in the 2008 campaign. The first time Hillary tugged at anybody's heartstrings and succeeded in winning a primary because of it was when she cried.
Let me answer your question, what you asked Casey before. Like, okay, let's say there is no criminal investigation. Now, this reminds me of Chris Christie. Where Chris Christie was exonerated, in essence, right? But the damage was done to the image.
That's a very fair point. That's a very fair point.
And
Chris Christie has not recovered.
It's not 2008. I mean, we have Benghazi. She still has to testify before the Benghazi hearings, which is what she agreed to do. Even if it's BS, she still has to do it. And she's not a good performer. She's not Bill. She can't change the debate.
But look at what she did. We were talking about New Hampshire back in '08, where she started crying on TV because Barack Obama, smacked her around a little bit in Iowa, not physically, but because that would be so wrong. But look at the campaign commercial she's putting out right now. It's all about being a grandmother.
No, that's right.
Because she has no records.
She's looking to get that heartbeat
Yeah.
going.
Yep.
You're
Nobody's
very
buying
right.
it.
So meanwhile, conservative activist and frequent political litigant Larry Klayman has filed a motion as part of his RICO case against both President and Mrs. Clinton, asking a judge to take possession of a flash drive, which is being held right now by Clinton lawyer David Kendall. According to Kendall, who has sued, not Kendall, we got Kendall in there. According to Klayman, who has sued both Hillary and President Bill Clinton for violating the RICO law, the flash drive contains all of the emails sent by Mrs. Clinton while she was Secretary of State.
Indeed.
We all remember Larry Klayman and his many lawsuits that are all of a political nature. He is what those who I know well tend to call a crazy, a loony.
Yeah.
But the question is, could this succeed?
I don't think that a flash drive can hold that many emails. I'm sorry, but that
Depends
just
on the flash drive.
no. I mean,
Yeah, it depends on
we're
the
talking
flash
about hundreds of thousands of emails.
I get it.
potentially. I don't even think
There
that's
are
possible.
flash drives
Sure
that
it
can
is.
handle.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's just a technical question.
You don't know sports, you don't know technology.
It could be a terabyte, you know?
No, but I do. I think it's BS. I think it's another. If the right
See,
goes too
actually,
far.
Kendall has told us that he's got them. He's got it. The question is can a judge force him
Right.
to give it up? And is there any legal reason for them to do that?
That's what I wanted to ask you. I mean, does
I
this
don't
make
think
sense
so.
under the RICO? No.
Under RICO acts, I don't think it does. I mean, the RICO case is predicated on the idea that the two of them have conspired to deny
Right.
freedom of information requests, to not answer them. Well, seeing the emails wouldn't really speak to that
Right.
issue. So I don't know. It's worth a try if I'm Mr. Klayman.
Who's the guy who put the evidence in his refrigerator and then tried to walk it out in his underwear?
Oh, I don't
my
know.
gosh.
Oh, Louisiana?
Yes.
Was that Louisiana?
Yeah.
All right.
After the break.
Do you think Hillary Clinton violated the law? You can tell us by going to newsmaxtv.com/comments. Let us know what you think. Coming up next, a new poll out shows Democrats really want Joe Biden. Stay with us. It's getting good.